sọ ń dàrú ojú rẹ̀. Ọ̀rọ̀ dìbò. Ọ̀rọ̀ pèsè jẹ́ o. Ọ̀rọ̀ dìbò. La 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 la. Ọ̀rọ̀ dìbò. La 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 la. Ọ̀rọ̀ pèsè jẹ́ o. Ọ̀rọ̀ dìbò. Some people, they think say that the original hustler passed. Hey, peace and power family. Welcome to another episode of #Freedom, a literary podcast. I have so many visuals to share with y'all today. I was like, let's take this until we see each other. So I want to hop right into it. We were just listening to Fela Kuti. I had such a great time. I went to one of his parties, well, a party in his honor this past weekend in DC. It was so dope. I had such a great time. There were paintings of him all over the place and all of his music, and it was just a great celebration. And then I get on Instagram later this week and see that my auntie, my beloved Miss Erica Abi Wright, better known as Ibadu, is actually going to curate an album of his best songs. So love her, love Fela Kuti. He is African legend, music legend. So I love it. It's some of my favorite music to listen to when I'm just like cleaning the house. Like if you don't know, he literally was the equivalent of like the African James Brown with like his political message, the lifestyle, the flashiness, all of it. So I love it. It's dope. Definitely get into your roots. It's like Afro beats infused with like some jazz and funk, and it's really dope. So get into it. I want to hop right into Black Magic this week. First one I want to shout out is she's actually a young girl right here in this area. I want to make sure that I say her name correctly. Daisha Morton. She, for her birthday, she's in the 6th grade for one, which I love. Like the babies, y'all, the babies. She's a 6th grader from Maryland. She used her birthday to help Puerto Rico. She opted for donations in lieu of, the fidget spinners and little shoes or whatever. She wanted to give back, so she collected 500 cases of water for Puerto Rico, and it's so cute. Her grandmother said she wanted nothing else. No party, no nothing. This is what she wanted. So 12 years old, already having that spirit of unity, philanthropy. I love it. If anyone knows Daisha Morton, her grandmother Tanya, anyone, if you know her, I am in the DC area, so if anyone knows that family, definitely let me know, because Conscious Kingdom, we got a little gift for them, because that warms my heart. God, the babies, man, the babies. And in addition to that, we have 2 Black Magics this week. The next is our beloved brother, Philando Castile. May he rest forever in power. We will never forget you, brother, ever. We remember you, how you were gunned down by our law enforcement. We remember you. We'll never forget you. And your legacy continues to live on. His family and his colleagues started a fundraiser in his honor. Y'all, that fundraiser has raised enough money to knock out student lunch debt for an entire year. I don't know if you're familiar with the school system and children, the young kids who are going through that, but that's a big problem. Not everyone qualifies for free lunch. Not every student wants to eat that free lunch either. It's not always the best. So to have a child be able to not worry about how they're going to pay for their food, all in honor of Philando, which, if you recall, he worked in the school. He knew every student by name. He was a great brother. So I love that no matter what they try to do, they can't kill our Black magic. It literally flows on through our legacy. His spirit will never, ever, ever die because of the impact that he had while he was here. No matter what they tried to paint him as, that's a good ass Black man, and it's still showing while he ain't even here anymore. I love it. So definitely big up to Daisha Morton and her wonderful efforts at 12 years old. Black magic. And as always, we love you, brother. We miss you. We are still so very saddened by what happened to you. And as always sending positive vibrations to the family of Philando Castile. I know that this had to warm their heart to see that, like I said, regardless of the tragedy, he's still making a positive impact on the community. So, Black magic. Now, on to get them the fuck out of here news this week. And that's why I said I have a lot of visuals to show. I first want to start off. Unfortunately, well, let's get the silly stuff out of the way first. Y'all know Hazel E? Right. I don't really know. I know she's on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. She got into it recently with that funny comedian, Just Hilarious. The one who literally always be like, she has like a real like heavy New York accent. Like, she's hilarious. The name fits, Just Hilarious. But anyway, they got into like some social media beef, something about Hazel E's boyfriend being on a down low and being gay. And listen, I don't really indulge in too much of that foolishness. But what sparked my interest was this rant that Hazel E went on about black women and complexions, and I mean, y'all, just all types of foolishness. Um, she literally, in her going off about, in her retaliation to Just Hilarious, she literally made this a colorism issue and started talking about dark skinned girls don't love themselves, and she's happy that her mother kept her away from women like that, and that these hoes mad, direct quote, these hoes mad because they failed the brown paper bag test. What? Wait, what? Like, I get it. I get it. All is fair in shady, petty games, right? But no, that is taking it to a whole nother level. And I am disappointed that VH1 and Viacom haven't released the we released her statement yet. How is she able to say such crass statements, and not to mention all of the homophobia, the colorism, the self hate that's permeating through all the posts. But the fact that, again, like I said, she's unapologetic. That was the second post that she made. I didn't even read the first one. And then on top of that, her alleged down low boyfriend or whoever the guy is posted a LGBT flag burning, saying that he's not gay and all gay people are gonna burn in hell. Like, and she responded like the Bible says. I'm just over all of it. And like I said, I don't watch the show. I don't really get into that because Hollywood is the boring chapter. Now Atlanta, I watch. New York a little bit. But Hollywood is kind of lame to me. I don't really watch it. I used to love Lil Fizz just like the rest of y'all, but it just doesn't do it for me. But I had to do some research. Like I said, I don't really know the girl like that. And I pulled up what she looks like. And Hazel E herself has gotten several surgeries done. Some lip injections, nose jobs, I mean, you name it. So the obvious issue here is that colorism is so strong within our communities. Like, we are still in 2017 talking about light skin versus dark skin and dark skin girls being ugly and saying all this slanderous stuff when oh honey, I don't know any brown skinned, dark skinned woman who feels they are inferior to anyone, because that's not true. Like, at what point are we just gonna realize we're all beautiful black women and we're all dope? Like, literally, the world strives to be us. So I'm over the whole light skin, dark skin, all that foolishness. But I do have to show y'all, this is the person who had all of this to say. Hazel E, ladies and gentlemen. So, again, while it's not that important, I do also have to take into account there are teenage girls, some women who actually watch these shows religiously and, you know, follow these I don't want to say they're celebrities, but they follow their lives, and those sort of messages, if you hear it enough, it can affect you. So my thing is, like I said, at this point, VH1 needs to get her out of here. Mona Scott Young, even though I know this kind of plays into what you kind of promote, it's not good. It's not good for us. It's not a good look for us as a people, and definitely not a good look for us as Black women. I'm sure she's gonna issue a little sappy ass apology, but girl, we don't want it. Take it back. Take it to Dr. Miami when you go get another surgery. Bye, sis. Moving right along, because we had a lot of fuck up out of here's this week. Boy, y'all president, y'all good old celebrity in chief, at it again with the foolishness. First, just a moment of silence and condolences to a Sgt La David Johnson. He died in an ambush in Africa. It's always sad to lose a Black brother, period, but especially when it's a brother in arms. A lot of our people choose to go that route for better opportunities to help our families secure education and benefits. So it's hurtful when a decision you make to make your life better ultimately results in the end of your life. That ultimately is your demise. You wouldn't have been in that situation had you not made that choice. It's always a tough pill to swallow. Not to mention, he has children here. He has a wife here. So, all unfortunate. His widow was contacted by our celebrity in chief, and I like, I almost can't even report this because I'm literally fuming. But let's just take a listen to a quick clip of the Democratic Representative Federico Wilson. Sis breaks it down for us.
Well, I guess he knew what he signed up for, but I guess it still hurts. That's what he said.
The president said to her, he knew what he signed up for.
He knew what he was signing up for.
But when it happens, it hurts anyway.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So it's almost as if this is a young woman who has 2 children, who is 6 months pregnant with a 3rd child. She has just lost her husband. She was just told that he cannot have an open casket funeral, which gives her all kinds of nightmares, how his body must look, how his face must look. And this is what the President of the United States says to her?
What was your reaction, Representative?
I asked them to give me the phone.
So, yeah, that happened. He's denying it now, but do you actually trust that he would be honest about such a thing? Because I don't. And why would this be a false, why would she create this? Why would her family create this? Why would this representative create? He said it. Okay? He said it. And the thing that saddens me is this is just, it's literally the darkness coming to the light. Black soldiers are often treated this way. If you look throughout history, we were sent on death missions, setup missions, okie dokes, like we used to call them. Okay? We would be put on the front lines, sacrificed, put into missions that we would know would fail. And to have a chief that is insensitive to our armed forces is just sad. But it is indicative of what is also within the lower ranks and throughout different platoons all throughout the country. Those ugly secrets are rearing its head. And unfortunately, black soldiers still have to deal with racism even at their everyday bases and units. That uniform doesn't stop it. But what I did realize in all of this is just how multifaceted white supremacy and just white privilege is. Now, couple things. 45 has all the time in the world to tweet about Colin Kaepernick, to tweet about, pretty much every other topic that's going on in the world besides the things that matter. Yet, he is ignoring, or not even ignoring, but just not giving the attention that is required to these families. He's saying that he called the families, he calls all the families of fallen soldiers, and he criticized John McCain for getting captured. I don't know if y'all remember that dumb comment, but it's just like, all of it is mind-boggling to me. He's supposed to be outraged, so upset that Colin is like all this anti-patriotism that is constantly being spewed, and this image of just like, if you're kneeling, it's against the flag, when we all know that's not the narrative. Do I need to say it again? That's not why they are doing it. That's not why we kneel. That's not why we protest. That none of that has anything to do with the flag or soldiers or any of that. Okay? It's about the Black experience, police brutality, literally us being murdered at the hands of people who are deemed law enforcement. I just talked about Philando Castile, if you need a point of reference. Okay? It's real. It's happening. And we literally have video evidence now. So that's why we're kneeling. That's what it's about. And not only that, and then the third part of the multifaceted state of that is white supremacy and white privilege, you can choose when, I'm sorry, because I wrote this down because I wanted to make sure I hit these points for y'all. The white people who do choose to call out Trump, they don't get that same backlash or, fiery outrage that Colin received or that Jamel Hill receives. Have y'all noticed that not one thing has been mentioned about Eminem's little rant during that cipher? Have you seen a tweet? A post? Anything? Yeah, me either. Literally called for Jamel Hill to be fired. Told NFL owners to fire, take action against players who are disrespecting the flag and the country. And Eminem literally said, F you, you're this, you're that, name called you, went off on you. He went in on you now. Nothing for that, huh? Or, I'm probably messing his name up, but I know my my NBA fans know. Greg Popovich? Yeah. Did you hear what he had to say about Trump? Nothing. 45 ain't have nothing to say about that. Those are prime examples of just how this white privilege thing works. It has times and dates when it addresses things, it has certain people that it targets, aka us. And it's the hypocrisy of it all. It's ridiculous. And speaking of Colin, he actually, I don't know if y'all have heard about it, but he is filing a lawsuit. Yes, you heard it. A lawsuit, people. Yes, Colin is filing a lawsuit against the NFL, alleging owners have colluded to keep him out of the league. And if you know anything about lawsuits or the court system or anything like that, to make a claim like that, you have to have some evidence. So I, for one, am excited for this journey to see, what hard evidence does he have? Because we've all been saying that he's been blackballed. We've seen mediocre quarterbacks get hired over Kaepernick, but everyone's saying, oh no, it's not because he's kneeling. It's not because he's kneeling. We all know what it is, y'all. Stop. We know. It's here. We can see. You know that, right? We can see y'all. But then there was a meeting. So 13 NFL players, 11 owners, and Commissioner Roger Goodell were among those at a meeting in New York to discuss social justice issues and the whole, of course, the protest, the kneeling, and what the NFL is going to absolutely, what they're ultimately going to do about it. Kaepernick was not invited. I wonder why. Y'all didn't have to invite him, but he sparked the whole meeting, so it's cool. Y'all didn't have to invite him. It's okay. Ultimately, Goodell stated players should stand for the national anthem, but he said no new rule would be put in place to penalize players. And of course, 45 has something to say about that. He tweets, "The NFL has decided that it will not force players to stand for the playing of our national anthem. Total disrespect for our great country. At NFL, too much talk, not enough action. Stand for the national anthem." Again, goes back to that, the multiple faces of white privilege. You are tweeting about that, but you did not take the time to make a sensitive or a compassionate call to a widow of a soldier, a pregnant widow with small children. You couldn't take the time to say something to her that expressed empathy and compassion, but you could tweet at the NFL about an anthem that you probably don't even know the history about. And not only that, I have yet to see you tweet about Somalia. Oh yeah, let's talk about it. They are literally calling it the 9/11 of Somalia. More than 300 people were killed in a twin truck bombing. I'm probably going to mess this up. I think it's Mogadishu, which is like the capital city. But 45 didn't tweet about that. I haven't seen any major news shows or, places where they report everything else. I haven't seen them posting about this or having any correspondence there or showing any live footage or any of that. Facebook didn't create a Pray for Somalia profile frame. I didn't see a hashtag I am Mogadishu or I am Somalia. 300 innocent people died. Why is that not being mentioned? Why are we not seeing that flooding the airwaves and going viral with tweets and hashtags? Why? Oh. And I know it's really sad to compare human tragedies. Like, it really is. Because any loss of life is hurtful, it's painful, it's fucked up. Like, the shit is trash. It really is. But I feel like they've covered the Paris bombings ad nauseum when that occurred. There were t-shirts and banners and social media movements, and they changed colors of buildings in honor of it, and nothing for Somalia. Nothing. Like, we get it. We get it. White and Western European and American victims merit the media attention from the public. They get that. They get it. Unrequited. It's always going to be there. African and Muslims, they just don't. And that's not okay. It's not okay. Like, I literally didn't hear about this until I was just doing research for something that literally had nothing to do with it. And I saw 300 killed in a bombing. I'm like, whoa, what's that? It was literally a small headline, like not even a headline. It didn't even look like a headline to me. It was just a small little line. And that's ridiculous. Like, poor brown folks who live in a country that doesn't offer anything to Western countries, they're worthless in the eyes of the media. But I am spreading information. I hope that me mentioning it, and I'll include a link in the bio just to spread awareness I'm seeking now somewhere where I can even offer relief. I haven't even really seen any campaigns for it. I'm still searching because that's a tragedy in history that needs to be acknowledged. Prayers and positive vibes to Somalia and all of the victims who suffered in that horrendous bombing. On that note, we're going to take a break. This podcast is powered by Conscious Kingdom. Shop online at shopconsciouskingdom.com for apparel and accessory needs. I do actually have a bit of the cold weather blues. I've been trying to play it off, but y'all, I really don't feel. I'm not living my best life right now. I'm a little stuffy and just, throat's a little scratchy. So the reading today will be brief, but it will definitely be beneficial. I'm going to just read a short essay from an up-and-coming writer and journalist. She actually was able to score a essay with Essence, so it's a big deal. And she's definitely dropping some gems, so we'll dive into that. And the title of the essay is How African Americans Can Break the Cycle of Inherited Poverty. I know we cover a lot within this podcast, but my goal in the efforts for all of this, for Conscious Kingdom, for everything that I do, is just to help us be better. I'm never here to judge anyone or look down on anybody, because at the end of the day, we all on it, like, we here, we together in this, like, we here together. So I'm fully in tune with the oneness and the cohesion that connects us as melanated people. So my goal is to just help us be better. I learn from you, you learn from me. We grow, we evolve, we find new opportunities, we find new ways to help our future generations. We help make the present more beneficial. We help make their lives more beneficial. We create generational wealth and knowledge, and we obtain knowledge through literacy. And applied knowledge is power. So we'll dive right into this. And this article, again, is entitled How African Americans Can Break the Cycle of Inherited Poverty, and it is written by Jazz Keys. She writes, I became heir to my parents' financial mismanagement and generational debt. By the time I was conceived, my father and mother had not only transformed mountains of bills into mountains of unpaid accounts, but had managed to pass the same distasteful money management habits to their younger generations. Sound familiar? Tragically, like a number of African American families, my parents simply did not know how to transition from living paycheck to paycheck to a wealthy lifestyle. Uncomfortable with the idea of just getting by, I started working at 13. This was also the age I saw young boys in my neighborhood turn to the streets. I spent most of my young adult life seeking knowledge on how to acquire riches. At that time, I had no clear plan on how to get rich, but I knew I couldn't bear the idea of struggling my whole life. Like many families, my parents were enslaved to their jobs. Without formal education, both my mother and father worked manual labor positions in factories for decades. Although they lacked the know-how to get out of the financial storm they were in, they knew they wanted more for their children and grandchildren. My parents consistently encouraged the youth in our family to stay in school, go to college, and get a good job. Climbing out of poverty didn't seem realistic to them, but what they did know was that they wanted their legacy to be something greater than financial struggles. Let me pause. We have to know that life was not meant to just be for us to struggle. We gotta know that. We gotta desire more for ourselves and for our future generations. I'll keep pushing. In the black community, there are several reasons why poverty and poor money habits are transferred through generations. The absence of healthy money management skills, inadequate access to wealth generating channels, an unbalanced debt to income ratio, unrealistic hurdles to self sufficiency, racial inequality, and a lack of financial literacy all serve to perpetuate the cycle of poverty in the Black community. Painstaking labor, along with long and strenuous hours only to be surviving paycheck to paycheck, is a burdensome living condition. It can only be abolished with increased knowledge and a collective movement devoted to gathering wealth and distributing it within the Black community. Message: we can make the money, we can get the degree, we can go and get these good jobs, but if we continue to thrive in that wealthy or middle class Black mindset, like I got mine, I'm gonna make sure my immediate family get theirs, but I don't have nothing to do with nobody else. That's not gonna help us as a people. That's not gonna help us grow. That's not gonna help us ultimately get out of these generations and generations of poverty. I'll read that line again. It can only be abolished with increased knowledge. That's why you're here at Freedom. Increased knowledge and a collective movement devoted to gathering wealth and distributing it within the Black community. So you make that money, you get that education, you create a job, you get a good job, or you create jobs, or you create a business that allows you to create jobs. That ultimately you can hire the people in your community, you can hire your family, you can branch off and have different franchises of said business. Don't leave the hood, buy up the hood, make the hood better. That's ours. We rep for it so hard. We rep hometowns like our parents own them. But our parents don't even own the houses that's on the block. But we rep it though. And if we're going to be that devoted from where we're from, we need to improve it as a people. Don't let gentrification take over. Gentrify that shit ourselves. We can get bank loans. Fix your credit first. We can run businesses. We have a better work ethic than any other type of person, race that I've ever met. We get it. Man, listen, we do it. And we do it well. And we always work hard to triple prove ourselves. We just have to start applying that to our own businesses. I'll keep pushing. All right. According to a recent study by the Nielsen Company, Blacks will have $1.1 trillion in collective buying power by 2018, increasing to about $1.3 trillion by 2019, making us more relevant than ever as consumers. Despite our buying power, our lack of or miseducation regarding financial freedom keeps us barricaded in debt. Here are some vital facts to help Blacks escape decades of debt bondage. Number 1, become financially literate. Financial freedom is not solely based on one's ability to generate more income. It is also understanding how money works. How well do you understand investment options? Are you familiar with your debt to income ratio? Do you have a working knowledge of credit and how to build your credit score? Black people have to dedicate time to understanding the multi-dimensions of money. Without a solid knowledge of financial basics, we are at a grave disadvantage when it comes to creating leverage in the marketplace. Money drives decisions. Without knowing how to generate and transfer wealth, we will continue to pass down habits and behaviors that promote poverty. So, do you know your investment options? Do you have a Roth IRA or a 401k through your job? What's your credit score? Have you looked at your report to see what things are on there? Maybe some things that you can get removed. Maybe there are false claims on there that you can get taken off. Credit Karma's free. What are you doing to save There are apps now. One is called Acorn, like just spelled like ACORN, and then there's one called Digit. And then some banks also have this in place as well, where it just like you every time you swipe your card, so every time you at the store buying whatever little snack or whatever, if you're a coffee drinker, every time you buy your coffee, I mean whatever, buy a little sandwich, whatever, it rounds up whatever you spent and it saves. So if you spend $12.50 or whatever, it takes that other 50 cents and it saves it for you. Literally, you don't have to do anything. It literally saves it for you. So when you get to the end of the month, or if you want to just look at it after 2 weeks, it's an app, so you literally can monitor your money and take it out whenever you want. Simple things like that. I think that we're at a point now where everyone I know is at least working and making money, but it's about how we manage it and what we're doing with it. That debt to income ratio is important. If you're making good money, you know, a good salary, or if you're still making hourly, whatever, get it how you live, okay? But whatever you're making, if the debt that you've accumulated overpowers that, then it is going to constantly feel like you just working and paying bills. You got to set a plan for yourself to pay some things off, make some sacrifices, maybe not go out, maybe pack your lunch, maybe start making your coffees at home. It saves money. Trust me. I've started juicing, and instead of going to the juice bars and actually paying them, I do it right here in my kitchen, and I'm literally saving almost $50 a week. That adds up. Those little cups, little snacks here and there add up. All right, let me keep pushing. Have more than a single stream of income. It is proven that millionaires have 7 consistent streams of income. I feel like everybody has heard that. It's true. However, a significant number of Black households are attempting to sustain with just one source of income. This not only makes it nearly impossible to survive, but dismisses any chance a family may have at financial prosperity. It is crucial that Black families begin the process of creating additional streams of income, as well as residual income. Now, I'm not saying go out here and hop into a pyramid scheme of selling candles or leggings or it works or whatever. Look, no shade to anybody that does it. That's on you. And I hope it works for you. Nothing but abundance for you. But I think all too often we as a people, we look outside of ourselves to create an additional income. And we can do more than just do hair. So think about it. Even when you were in school, is there something you were ever really good at? Were you a good writer? Some people, math just comes naturally to them. That's all indicative of our ancestry, okay? We were scholars and mathematicians and architects all the way back to the beginning of our existence. So if that flows naturally to you, that's a natural gift that you have, embrace that. Become a tutor. If you're a great writer, become a writer. Write blog posts. Be a freelance writer. Become a writer or a social. Even if you have not ever been into anything that is, academic in that regard. Are you good with social media? I'm sure you are. We're always all on it. Become a social media marketer. Businesses pay people money to post for them, to monitor their traffic, to help them generate more traffic, to type out their posts. Establish yourself, establish your own account first so you can always, because remember, you're always your best advertisement. I mean, I rock nothing but Conscious Kingdom. Everything. Bracelets, these pillows, my kufi, all of this. This is all my brand. You are your best advertisement. So just remember, there is something in all of us, a uniqueness that, listen, no one is you, and that is your power, and you can use that. If it's something you enjoy, think, can I make money off of this? Is there some way I could flip this? It works. I started Conscious Kingdom because I like making jewelry. I started this making bracelets, and my friends asking me like, "Dang, I like that bracelet you got on. Can I get one?" I would make them one just out of love. They're like, "Dang, somebody else asked me for one. Like, you should start selling these." It's turned into a brand. It's turned into a podcast. Hey. My point though, use what you have. Men, if you were an athlete back in school, you could become a coach, a mentor, a trainer for young kids, for whatever. Use what you know, what you have, and what you have knowledge on. And you can have, even if it's a little money coming in, it's something that you enjoy, so you're not losing anything. You have nothing but money to gain, experience to gain, happiness to gain. All right, I'll keep pushing. This was supposed to be quick, right? All right. This one is important. Invest in life insurance and a retirement plan. Our financial portfolios are non-existent. We need to teach our youth the importance of financially preparing for the future. What arrangements do you have to support your family in death? Seriously. And not a GoFundMe. Stop it. That's ridiculous. We gotta stop making GoFundMes to have funerals. It's not okay. It's setting us back, y'all. It really is. Not only do we not have adequate life insurance, but we have no plans for retirement outside of our 401k contributions. We must understand the importance of a versatile financial portfolio. Money market accounts, like I said, IRAs. There are so many different ways to save money, so you don't have to work all of your life. I know that we've seen our grandmama, mamas, aunties, and mamas, and everybody in them, uncles, aunties, and everybody in them work their entire lives, but that's not the way life is meant to be. Retirement exists for a reason, and it's obtainable. It's not like I literally heard an elder say one time, "Oh, black people don't retire." Yes, we do. We can retire and live the lives we truly want. Ugh, we can. Like it's ours for the taking. Think beyond your own prosperity. In comparison to other nationalities, we are the most divided race. Big facts. If we could wrap our minds around being self-sustaining and centered on group economics, we could begin to see our money work for us. Being self-sufficient will allow us to acquire land, own homes, plan for retirement properly, push for educated financial decisions, and minimize debt. From small businesses to enterprises. Historically, blacks have faced many obstacles in their pursuit of labor independence. At the turn of the 20th century, state and local policies placed unrealistic restraints on black business owners. Jim Crow, anyone? Making it challenging for them to prevail. Today, our challenges are different. While we are seeing more black businesses in circulation, many do not fully blossom into large-scale enterprises. When it comes to black entrepreneurship, it is imperative that we harvest the knowledge that will assist us in growing our businesses. Spending more of the black dollar in our community and supporting our black-owned businesses is one way to support the expansion of small black-owned businesses. One of my absolute favorite stories of just watching a black business blossom is this painter I know. I not know, but social media know. She's such a dope queen, though. I am so in awe of her. She's such an inspiration to me. Follow her, Whitney Austin. This queen literally started painting in her one-bedroom apartment. She moved on to her two-bedroom, used the other bedroom for, just as her paint room. She now travels the country doing paint sit-up, like paint and sips and painting events. And she's opening her second gallery again. And trust me, she's very open and willing to share her story because it's real. She started just harvesting what she has, but she didn't keep it, just, oh, I'm going to have this small online store. No, we can have galleries. We can have brick and mortar businesses. It's all there. We have to just put in the work, be financial literate, and be smart with what we're doing and just have a plan. We do have a great buying power. Like, we have it. Trillions, not billions, trillions of spending power. We choose, we thrive what's hot. we set the trend. Fashion would literally not exist without us. So we just have to take that power and invest it back into our own people. The world is ours. We just have to grasp it, y'all. Thanks so much again for tuning in this week. As always, this podcast is powered by a Black-owned business, Conscious Kingdom, where culture and consciousness combine. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, like our Facebook page, as well as Twitter. Everything is at Conscious Kingdom. And be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube and follow our SoundCloud as well, so you can always be up to date with all new podcasts, all new blog posts, and everything that we're working on. I love you, family. Peace.